Okay, so it is hard for me to overstate how much of a big deal this is. The RC-Astro tools, Blur Exterminator, Noise Exterminator, and Star Exterminator are now available as standalone outside of PixInsight. They've broken free of PixInsight, and they're even available into pretty awesome integrations in free software, such as Cyril or SETI-Astro Suite Pro. So if whatever I'm saying is completely unintelligible to you, let me get back a step. So for astrophotography, we need to use processing tools to really reveal the details of the targets that we've imaged, like galaxies or nebula, etc. And for that, we use astrophotography processing software. The most advanced one for a very long time has been PixInsight, but PixInsight costs a lot of money. It costs over 300 euros. And then you've had free alternatives. The longest running one that I've been using is Cyril. And then there's also SETI-Astro Suite Pro, which is a more recent development. But PixInsight was able to really retain its domination over the competition because it had access to the best tools to do what we call deconvolution and noise reduction, as well as separating stars from your image, which are the RC-Astro tools. And RC-Astro tools, basically you have three of them. One of them is Blur Exterminator, that lets you use a very mathematical operation called deconvolution, which is something that makes sense and does not invent any new details. It lets you do that operation that's very difficult to do manually, like one click of a button, and that mathematical operation is actually approximated by the use of AI. And it really unblurs your images in a scientific way so that you recover details that were lost to seeing conditions or to your optical train itself. And it's pretty amazing the difference you can get. Then you have Noise Exterminator that lets you basically reduce the noise in your image in a very smart way, like your background noise gets really smoothed out super well, and then the details in your nebulae, in your galaxies, etc., they're unaffected or almost unaffected. It's pretty incredible, the results that you can get. And then there's the fact that when we do processing right now, we want to process the stars, those pinpoints of light that react very aggressively to processing. And the nebulosity, or the galaxy part in your image, we want to process them separately. So one way to do that is to remove the stars from the image, process the nebulosity, and then later on put back the stars into the image. And Star Exterminator lets you do that. And that's why those three tools are a huge deal, and they are by far, in my opinion, the best tools to perform those three operations in the field available right now. Now that RC-Astro is available outside of PixInsight, absolutely amazing stuff. And the thing is, I've realized, especially if you've watched my video about like a full PixInsight processing flow that gets you on rails to process your image, you may have noticed that I use a lot of tools that are really that should not be bound to PixInsight. PixInsight is just like the processing platform, and then I use tools that I've added to the platform. And so that means that now that the main three tools are available outside of PixInsight, I can use free software like Cyril to basically do whatever I need without needing PixInsight. So really what I'm saying is watch this video and maybe rethink about buying PixInsight, because maybe now you can get by with just Cyril or SETI-Astro Suite Pro. Personally, right now, I prefer Cyril because I find it much easier to figure out what I'm doing, whereas SETI-Astro Suite Pro probably suffers from too many tools in too many places. I have no idea what to do when I'm using SETI-Astro Suite Pro, but let me get back to that. So first, let's see, how do we install all of that? So for my needs, I will show you how to use the tools from within Cyril. So the first thing that we're going to do is download Cyril. By the way, talking about Cyril, I've been sent this, basically it's the whole book, the manual on how to use Cyril, but also how to do astrophotography processing in general. And I will do a better video on that, because this book, I've been reading it, it's amazing because it really gets you to understand everything we're doing with astrophotography processing in a super easy way, much better than other books about other software I've read, and the knowledge is applicable outside of Cyril as well. But today I'm going to focus on RC-Astro. So first you want to go to cyril.org, download the version for your OS. Typically I'm using Linux, but for this one I'm going to show you on Windows. And for that, so I'm going to go to Windows, and we're going to download the 64-bit Windows version of Cyril, latest version. Thank you for downloading Cyril. If you want to help them out, you can buy the book. I actually highly recommend it. Again, I'm going to do another video on that, but yeah, just buy the book. It's a perfect manual for Cyril, honestly, and for other tools as well, actually. Make a donation, etc. But here, we've downloaded it, so I am going to just go to install it now by running the executable. Just accept everything. Cyril is, by the way, not only free, it's also open source. So free and open source software, pretty nice. And so I'm installing it, and then we'll be able to run it. Then once the installation is done, I can actually run Cyril. It will open up. And here we go. I'm going to skip the introduction. Normally I would not recommend doing that, but then I'm used to Cyril, so I can skip it. And I'm going to show you how to install the RC-Astro scripts in there. If I go to scripts here and click on get scripts, I'll have a list of scripts that are available to Cyril. There are some amazing utilities in there all over the place, from pre-processing to processing. Some of the best ones are the Veralux one. There's so much good stuff in there. Honestly, the availability of scripts in Cyril has been a game changer for that software, and it really is a big threat to PixInsight. And now with RC-Astro, I think there's very little reason to buy PixInsight when you have access to so many features within Cyril. I'm going to search in the list for RC-Astro. I can just search for RC-Astro, and here we have the 3 scripts available: Star Exterminator, Noise Exterminator, and Blur Exterminator. So I'm going to select all 3, click on Apply. Now the scripts are available. If you go to scripts, Python scripts, you have RC-Astro, Blur Exterminator, Noise Exterminator, and Star Exterminator. But that doesn't install the actual standalone tool from RC-Astro. For that, you need to go to the RC-Astro website. So if you go to the RC-Astro website, there will be a section here called Standalone RC-Astro Tools that gives you all of the information about using those tools, either purely standalone, and so I would highly recommend reading that first. And one of the things as well with this is that those scripts, this standalone tool, it will use your GPU, your graphic processor, your graphic card, even if it isn't an NVIDIA graphics card. And I'm using AMD, and on Windows, it will use like Windows ML or whatever the name of that thing is to actually do GPU acceleration on the AI processes for AMD and Intel. This is not the case for the scripts in PixInsight. Under Windows, it works only with NVIDIA right now. So with that, you have something that is finally GPU agnostic if you're on Windows or Mac. But if you're on Linux, unfortunately, it's not accelerated yet, which is a bit of a shame, because now I'm on a situation under Linux where PixInsight scripts for RC-Astro get GPU accelerated for my AMD GPU, but the standalone tool doesn't. And it's the reverse situation under Windows. Anyway, can't have everything. How do you download that? First, you need to buy them. For that, you go to the RC-Astro website, select Blur Exterminator under software. You have a free trial that's available, so you can do that as well. Or you can see Blur Exterminator is $100, Noise Exterminator is $60, it's too cheap, and Star Exterminator is $50. So it's a total of a bit over 210 US dollars. If you're coming to from the Cyril website and you want to use that in Cyril, if you use Cyril 10, you'll get a 10% discount on top of that. Once you've purchased those 3 pieces of software, and I really recommend getting all 3 because they're all really good and there's very little competition. So how do you download and install the standalone tool and then use it from within Cyril? You just go to your account and licenses after purchasing or getting on the free trial. Under your licenses page, you will see something like that, RC-Astro CLI. This is the standalone tool. You just need to download it for your OS. For me, it's going to be Windows, so I just click on it and that downloads it. Then you can just run the tool. Windows might tell you that it protected your PC because it doesn't want you to do astrophotography. It means, well, don't blame it. Just run it anyway and then install. For me, it's already installed, so there it is, but otherwise it's just next, next, next. And once it's installed, actually, If you open a command line and you run RC-Astro, you'll see that something happens, right? Not just an error message. This means it's being installed properly and Windows recognizes it as available, which is good. And then you need to actually enable it, like activate it from your license. For that, you again need to go to your RC-Astro account site and click on Activate Products. This will actually copy paste something to your clipboard. And now that you've clicked on the Activate Products button, the only thing you need to do is to open your command line. So you're just going to press the Windows button, type CMD, enter. That will open your command line interface. And then you can right click and that will copy paste the text from Activate Products. You can also do that from within Cyril. So there's a backup plan if needed. For me, I just right click, press enter. I'm not going to show you that because it shows my actual activation keys. And so now all of the tools for me, Blur Exterminator, Star Exterminator, and Noise Exterminator are properly licensed. So now I'm going to go into Cyril. So for my situation, I'm just going to open like an M1 image file from my network drive. I'm going to do some auto stretching on that. This is my image. I'm going to quickly crop it so we can see what's going on. And I want to quickly do some first background extraction just so that we have a clean background for the tools. For that, I'm going to get an additional script for Graxpert AI, apply, up, and run the background extraction. So here we go. Let's apply background extraction. It's done. And now I can actually use the RC-Astro tool. So I'm going to go to scripts, Python scripts, RC-Astro, start with Blur Exterminator. I'm going to say do not show this dialog again because I know those scripts. And this should pop up. That's where all of the settings are available. And it has already detected Blur Exterminator, and it knows that Blur Exterminator is already licensed, so there's nothing to do. If you weren't able to activate the license via command line, you can actually click on this license button and then input your email and your license key for each of the tools, Blur Exterminator, Noise Exterminator, Star Exterminator, so you can do it directly from the user interface from Cyril rather than doing it from the command line if that was a bit too complex. So here we're going to say like, okay, I want to sharpen the stars by, let's say 0.5, and I want to sharpen the non-stellar stuff. I'm going to set like 0.8 so we can see a nice difference, and run Blur Exterminator. And when that happens, by the way, my GPU will be used to accelerate, even though it is an AMD GPU. So that's a really cool stuff using this direct ML API. So super fast. Let's close this and let's look at the before, super blurry, and after we really exterminated the blur. This is amazing. I'm so happy we have that in Cyril and in SAS Pro. This is insane, guys. Again, I cannot overstate how amazing this is. Then we can go to scripts. And no, first I'm going to resize the image because I want to reduce a bit my noise, and I've drizzled, so there's a whole video I could make on that. So I'm just going to go to image processing, geometry, resample, and we're going to resample to 50%. It's not mandatory. So now I can run Noise Exterminator to remove the noise, right? So I'm going to go to my Python scripts, Noise Exterminator. It should open up something like that. I can set the level of the noise. So I'm going to get it fairly aggressive at 0.8 just so that we can see the large difference. Run Noise Exterminator. It might actually have to download the noise reduction model, but there it is. It's running over my GPU. Done. And unfortunately, Cyril does the auto stretch it does the auto stretch again with each step. There's no way to do it like step by step. So it's difficult to actually show you exactly what the noise reduction did without stretching the image. So let me quickly stretch the image right now. I'm going to use again a script that I just added, which is called statistical stretch. I'm going to set a target median of maybe 0.15. Let's preview it. That's actually a bit too aggressive. Okay, so this is a nice stretch that I have. Just going to apply it. And there we go. And this is where actually the Noise Exterminator results become very visible. My background is super smooth, and yet the details in M1 are still amazing. That's the power of those Noise Exterminator, Blur Exterminator, etc. tools. And now finally, I'm going to show you Star Exterminator, right? Because we can get there. RC-Astro, Star Exterminator. Just to show you, I'm just going to run Star Exterminator, and bam, it's done. The stars are gone. I can process just the nebulosity, and then once I'm done, I can recombine with the stars. How amazing is that? So this is also available in RC-Astro Suite Pro, and of course it's available as full standalone. You don't need any third-party software if you just use it from the command line. So there we go. This RC-Astro tools, they've been a game changer in the hobby, and as far as I'm concerned, to this day, nothing really compares to them. The closest is for Noise Exterminator, probably Graxpert Denoise. For whatever reason, it works the best for me, right next to Noise Exterminator. But otherwise, nothing comes close that I've tested. And the fact that they're available outside of PixInsight means that now, with tools like Cyril, having access to so many incredible scripts and so many incredible tools, I honestly don't really see a huge reason to buy PixInsight right now. And my opinion of that has changed recently. I can't say enough good things about this thing. As I'm reading this, I'm learning so much about what's possible in Cyril, and it makes me realize that maybe there's much less of a reason for me to use PixInsight, except for some really good convenience features like multiple windows and views available that I can then link together so I can show you before and after things in my videos. So I will keep using PixInsight. But if you were on the fence, maybe try Cyril, try RC-Astro Suite Pro first, and really you might be impressed with the results, because now that the RC-Astro tools are available, it's really a game changer. With that, let me know what you thought of that down in the comments. Will this change your imaging, your processing workflow? Will you now buy those RC-Astro tools, whereas you didn't buy them before because you didn't have PixInsight? Let me know. It's almost a must-buy now, and then you use free software to actually interface with the standalone tool from RC-Astro. I'm still in shock. This is amazing. With that, again, thanks for watching. Leave a like on the video if you want to help me out. If you want to help me out even more and you're planning on buying anything from Amazon, Gina, High Point Scientific, etc., if you do so after clicking one of the links down in the description, it will help me out at no cost to you. And if you want to help out even more and become a direct sponsor of the channel, make all of those videos possible directly, you can become a channel member. It's the join button next to the subscribe button, or a Patreon supporter. The link is down in the description. You guys, you make all of this possible. Thank you so much for your support. It is truly, hugely appreciated. Thank you. With that, thanks for watching. Don't forget, whenever you can, to look up at the stars, and I'll see you next time.